We are opposed around the world by a monolithic and ruthless conspiracy.
Dummy. Conspiracy dummy.
Hey. Yeah. Check it out, man. Hey, welcome to Conspiracy Dummy, the conspiracy podcast that's vibing on a higher frequency. I am your host, Double D. Joining me on the podcast, we have the man of mystery, Mr. Williams. What's good?
Hey, what's up? Glad to be back.
Hey, shit. How's life been treating you?
It's been good. Staying busy as usual. Like you said, trying to vibrate on a higher frequency.
Yep.
Everything's good, man. Year's coming to an end, slowly but surely.
Yeah, man, for sure. And I vibrated on a fucking much higher frequency, like the highest this past weekend.
Tell me about that.
Did a little shrooms, some mushrooms, some little mushies. It was cool, man. It was really cool. Just a little getaway somewhere in Oklahoma and shit. Went camping. And, dude, just woke up, ate a good breakfast, got everything prepared, you know what I mean? Because I didn't want to be all fucked up coming back and trying to make dinner or some shit, you know? So I tried to have everything kind of prepped already. And, dude, just walked this little fucking cool lake, the shore of this lake, bro. Kind of walked in the forest, too, shroomed for like 6 hours or some shit. It was awesome as fuck, bro. Best trip ever. Can't complain.
6 hours.
Yeah, man. Took like a heroic dose, bro. Like almost 5 grams, I would say. It's awesome.
That's a lot.
It's awesome. It is a lot, but
it's cool. And that's the best. One of the best places to vibe out is out there in nature, man.
For reals, bro. To be grounded, huh? Like,
did you take your shoes off at all? Did you go barefoot? Go barefoot?
Yeah, I did. Laid on the sand too, man. Just chilled in the woods and shit. I probably have a little bit of footage I can post later. Give you a little taste of the experience I had. It was cool, man. Yeah, I haven't done that in a while, bro. To be honest, it's been like over a decade for sure. It's been a minute. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. So.
Well, did it make you want to travel down that road a little bit more frequently?
I do, man. Like once in a while. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah,
right.
like a ritual or some shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you don't want
ceremony.
You don't want to abuse it. You know.
Yeah. No.
Do it strictly on, certain occasions. The crazy thing about that is, you could plan to do it one day. For whatever reason, that one day, you might not be in the best mindset.
Yeah.
To have that kind of experience. So sometimes with that, it's good to kind of have maybe a general time, whether it's a certain seasonal time where you might want to do it, where you give yourself...
You want to prep a little bit.
Right. Because, who knows, you could, plan on doing it, that 1 week, that, third weekend in that 1 month, and, 2 weeks prior, life throws you a curveball and it kind of throws things a little out of whack, and that that could mess with your headspace, and that could not be lendful towards a great experience. So really want to be in a good mindset with that, but definitely being in nature, from what I hear, will definitely help that. I've either heard whether it's a forest kind of motif, or a lot of people talk about like a desert situation, like out there in the desert you just see miles and miles forever.
Yeah, some Jim Morrison or some Doors shit or something like that.
Yeah, I heard a story one time, and this guy was saying, the reason why I like to have those experiences out in the desert is because when I did it in the forest, I would see the trees and I couldn't see past a certain point. So me being on this plane or whatever, this thought pattern, I thought the forest was hiding something from me because I couldn't see past a certain point.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, that kind of messed with your head and made you, take a right when you should have taken a left or whatever But when he did it in the desert, he said since he could see for miles and miles and miles all around him, you know, he didn't feel like the world was in, you know, keeping secrets, so to paraphrase, as what he was saying. And he said that lended a little bit better experience for him,
I could see that
in particular.
I could see that because it's a good setting, bro, to be in nature like that. You know what I mean? And we shout out to Joaquin and to Dennis as well because they shroomed with me. We all chilled in the forest for maybe until we started to feel it, right? And then once we know it started to really kick in, we're like, fuck this shit. Let's be safe. Let's just chill at the shore of the fucking lake that we're at, right? The beach area. And
then about 45 minutes of that, you said, fuck it, let's go.
Dude, we went separate ways. We got lost and shit. It was pretty cool, bro. And later on, we wrapped it up in the nighttime. We were just chilling, bro, at camp right next to the fire. And it was just like a crazy experience, bro. We were just chilling. And it sounded like a fucking wave, bro, in the sky. Like a crazy wave just building. And we were like, what the fuck is this? And there's like trees all around us. But right above us is like this open patch. You can see the sky, you can see the moon and everything. And we just see this crazy V formation, bro. It looked like a UFO and shit. But it was a bunch of fucking geese, bro, flying south for the winter and shit. Made a crazy fucking sound. And we were just barely coming off of it still. And so it was just like really trippy, bro. It was a cool way to end the night and to end the experience, I should say.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, pretty cool, man. So that was my little trip.
Did you learn anything from it, or did you take anything from that experience at all?
Just to be in nature, man. As much as I can. It's just nice to be off the grid for a bit. Just better myself. I think it gives you a good sense of direction in life. I really do. I don't know. I came back, started working out a lot more. You know, when we do a little camping and shit, we're cooking out at the grill. We just did a lot of fucking like fajita meat and steaks and shit like that. So I just want to add more meat to my diet. I'm thinking about prepping myself to do a carnivore diet in January when it's like National Carnivore Month or some shit like that.
You're going to go 30 days just eating meat?
I'm going to try it, bro.
Good
Eggs,
luck.
all that, anything that's labeled meat, seafood, chicken, whatever. I'll do it. I'll try it.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. It felt good just eating nothing but like strips of meat that whole weekend. You know what I mean? That's all. We drank beer a little bit, but just most of the time we're just eating strips of meat, and it was pretty good, man. I feel great. So I'm going to try it.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Maybe some more shrooms too. I don't know. And well, yeah. And speaking about shrooms, man, fucking Colorado too is gonna start legalizing them over there, which is cool. Cool. Colorado's already cool, so it's just gonna make the little trip even better when we go out there.
Oh, to Colorado?
Yeah, because it's gonna be legit. It's gonna be legalized out there. Shrooms,
like recreationally.
Yeah, but I don't even know, man.
When did you hear? I haven't even seen anything about that.
Someone sent me a post about that. I don't know. Yeah, so it's in the works, I think.
Well, I know I know Portland or whatever's a different story, but I thought they passed a bill in Colorado that decriminalized psilocybin to a certain capacity. Like, I don't know. Like usually like here, it's, depending on how much you have.
Yeah.
Whether they'll, cite you or, let you go on about your way.
Yeah.
But decriminalization is always the first step to that whole process. Usually,
Yeah.
Some people will, the pendulum will swing all the way, and they'll just go right to recreational. But in most cases, yeah, it starts with, decriminalization and that. So I wouldn't be surprised if that was true.
Yeah, man. I don't know. That's just something I heard. So it'd be kind of cool if it's like a place you can go and do it recreationally like that. Yeah, man. So I don't know what else has been going on. I've been kind of like off the grid for a little bit, so I don't really know, man. I knew there was like some like election thing going on, and somebody calling out Jewish people. I don't know. I'm just kind of lost. Maybe you want to tell me what's been going on this last couple of weeks or so.
Well, I mean, shit. It really depends on where you want to start. I mean, this week's been pretty crazy with everything. The midterm election was here. Every 4 years, it's intercycled. Every 4 years, we vote for a president, and then once every 4 years we vote for like Senate and governors and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
And this year, you know, it was all the midterms with the Senate and the governor races and everything. And a lot of people were anticipating, a lot of people were saying there's going to be a red wave, which apparently I guess red is Republican and blue is Democrat.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really follow politics too much because I just think it's, you know, two birds or two wings of the same bird, two heads of the same snake. So
two sides of the same coin.
Yeah, it's just the all perpetuating cycle of demonic bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, a lot of people are calling for a red wave just because of how crazy shit's been, you know, under the Biden administration and stuff. But, you know, from what I hear, you know, definitely wasn't a red wave, you know.
Yeah.
But there were still issues with a lot of these ballot machines. Like I think there was in Maricopa County, there was some shit going on where like they one of the machines fucked up, or a whole like side or county or something. All hell broke loose. I don't know the full story on it, but I just know some shit popped off in Maricopa County in Florida. I'm pretty sure it's Florida, with the voting machines and everything. And, you know, you saw other problems in other places. I think Pennsylvania might have been a place. I know there was another state more up north. They were having issues too. So, you know, I mean, who knows? Who knows what's going on?
Who knows, man? Yeah. It's crazy, man. It always gets crazy around these times, dude, when it leads up to it, huh? Like, you just know shit's going to go down. I don't know. It's interesting.
Those are your thoughts on the situation?
That's my thoughts on the situation.
Okay.
Yeah, so, yeah, that's how much I care about shady politics. My bad. Every politician just seems shady as fuck, man. It's 2022, and we're still dealing with the same fucking issues. It comes back and forth every now and then. Do you think we have evolved by now, bro? Like, fuck, man. Let a motherfucker live and shit.
When this shit goes down, you better be ready.
I don't know. I know a lot of people here in Texas are pissed, and I understand that too, man. In the way, I do think a lot of the shit that maybe like Abbott's in favor for or going for, I don't agree with. But I don't know, man. I don't like that Beto dude. For like, I know something about him. I don't know.
I don't know, man. He seems, to me, a lot of people look at him, and I get it. It's like a fresh face and all that stuff. But to me, like, honestly, like, he does seem like, I don't know if bureaucrat's the right word, but just he seems like a phony suit guy.
Yeah.
You know, that's going to tell you what you want to hear. And then when he gets in place, you know, who knows if whoever's, you know, bending his ear, you know, he's going to be compliant in that's what I get from him. There was a lot of support for that guy, but when you look at the results, I mean, he lost by like several 100,000, you know, votes. I can't remember what the number was, but just a number, you know, let's say Abbott won 500,000. I think Beto was like 300,000 or something like that.
Yeah.
So it was a pretty substantial difference, which truthfully, I was honestly kind of shocked because, you know, I saw what kind of traction he was getting on social media, and then also seeing a lot of signs in people's yards. Like, I work outside. I'm in
especially where I live and shit,
I mean, I see those signs everywhere.
Yeah.
So I was kind of surprised to see, you know, the numbers and everything like that. But yeah, no, to me, dude, he seems like another dude that's trying to fake the funk on a nasty dunk. I mean, a lot of the stuff he's talking about, like I heard him talking, I don't know if it was full police abolishment, but I remember he was talking about like crazy drastic measures for guns and stuff, which, you know,
here in Texas doesn't fly, bro.
No, which, dude, listen, like, I'm cool with, I definitely think there needs to be a little bit stricter gun control. Like, I'm fully in favor of that. When you start, you know, talking about this narrative of taking guns and, you know, you can only, like Canada, you can't even own a pistol. You can't sell a pistol. Like, Canada's basically Australia right now. You can't even own a gun in Australia, dude.
Yeah.
And, you know, the I hate to get all patriotic or whatever, but in the Constitution it says you have the right to bear arms, and you have the right to defend yourself from a foreign or domestic threat, right? And a domestic could be your own government.
Yeah.
You know? So I'm not...
Look at Brazil, man, what they're going through right now and shit. You know what I mean?
Man.
like when shit wants to get overturned and shit like that, the government is the people, bro. And that's a perfect example. Man, dude, if shit was to get crazy here, bro, if we were just to be united, bro, come together and shit, dude, like both sides, whatever sides, you know what I mean?
But that's no. I fully agree with you. But the problem is like it's hard. It's easy to say that, but there's so many people out there that are just literally trying. All they really give a fuck about is providing and supporting for their family.
Yeah.
They don't have time or energy to devote to, other stuff. But the truth is, if people did come together, we would find out we have way more in common than we, don't. So, but that's the whole elitist thing. It's the old cliche saying, "A nation divided can't stand united." So they do all these things, things to keep people, separated. I firmly believe that, things like organized religion and politics and stuff, that's another thing, like, to keep people divided. Oh, I'm on this team, I'm on that team, you're on this team, I'm on that team. Like, my team believes this, my team believes that, and the truth of the matter is like, we're all just here trying to fucking be a better person, grow, and, support and provide for the people we love and care about.
Yeah, I think we just need less government in people's lives.
And you won't hear somebody that's never fucking had a mushroom experience say that.
Yeah. Fuck yeah, man. Definitely less government in people's lives. And same as religion, man. Like me, man, I'm not a religious person. I'm like a spiritual person, bro. I like to think. And I like to learn, you know what I mean? But I don't really like...
You don't want to devote yourself to one and be hard staunch. I'm going to die on this hill about this belief.
Man. It's sad to be just like ingrained and just have this kind of belief. I don't know. That's another conversation. But
it's a good conversation. Why stop it?
Yeah, I know, but I just I don't know. It's just sad. It's like what life is. Like, why not explore everything? It's like that quote from Pimp C. If you know the way broadly, you would see it in everything. Church. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. I need to scratch all that. I don't even know where to go up with that, where I was going, to be honest.
Well, I thought it was good. Don't cut yourself off like that.
Yeah, I don't know, but I was getting way off topic.
Not at all. Not at all.
Let me see. What else is going on, bro? What else do you have? Anything? I got a few topics.
Well, I mean, everybody knows about the Ye shit. Ye?
Jesus.
Yay, and that shit's getting crazy too, huh, man? Shit, I don't know, man. I'm totally for calling out the powers that be, people who are running shit, man. Call them out, yeah, man.
Speak truth to power.
Yeah, fuck yeah, but I don't know. It is when you're calling out a fucking race of people, or you know what I mean? I don't know. It gets sketchy, bro.
It's too broad of a generalization.
Yeah, man.
Like, I think he went a little too far. Like, there's statistical facts, that
when you get into all these tribes and shit, you know what I mean? Like, it gets kind of like muddy, bro. Like, for reals. And even like what's that dude, Kyrie Irving and shit like that, all that shit that's going down with him and him apologizing and you know much about that? About the whole...
Well, I know Kyrie Irving's a basketball player, and then he came out and he had really staunch views during COVID. He was what they labeled as anti-vax,
a flat earther,
and everything. And they just it's funny how the media will just try to scrub somebody. Yeah. And to me, like, I do know a little quite a bit about it, because especially since it's been so all over social media lately. But to me, it's funny, I mean, who knows? They could have came to him and been like, dude, if you enjoy living this lifestyle that you live, right? Yeah. Living in this house, doing this, doing that, it'd probably be in your best interest to shut the fuck up, right? And quit going against the grain and just, take your money and cash it at the bank and live your fucking life.
And all he did was like repost or post a documentary that's shown on, I think, Amazon. You know what I mean? I think the video's called Hebrews to Negroes. Hebrews to Negroes or something.
Yeah, Hebrews to Negroes.
Yeah. So that, and I guess he took it down too, and he apologized for all that. I don't know too much about that, but
I think the basis of it was talking about how if you can trace like the lineage or something like that of like Jewish people, that it all ties back to like Muhammad, and Muhammad was actually black, and that the first Jews were actually black.
Word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which there's so many different types of like Jews. And speaking of Jew, if you haven't seen Ari Shafir's Jew on YouTube, go check it out. It really
eye opening.
It's eye opening, and it's great to
and
watch.
Jaw dropping.
Right. It's great time to watch it now since all this
drama
and Judaism stuff's going on. So,
but you know what, dude? Talking about being like pressured, and I don't know, man. Like, there's some crazy shit probably going on though, bro. Because Kanye has like receipts. He posted some shit the other day too about his former fucking trainer Harley Pasternak, whatever the fuck his name is. This dude, bro. Yeah, former trainer or handler or whatever they call him. And yeah, he is Jewish, but who cares about that? The dude looks like a Batman villain. He looks like the dude that cuts himself, you know? I just don't know not much about it other than this guy said that there's this fucking text. Maybe I should fuck. Yeah, man. So this is text, okay? This is what Kanye put, bro. What should be obvious by now is that I was raised to stand my truth regardless of the consequences. So I will say this again. I was mentally misdiagnosed and nearly drugged out of my mind to make me a manageable, well-behaved celebrity. And then he posted a text that was sent to him by this guy, that Harley dude.
Which was his trainer.
Which was his trainer, yeah.
Okay.
So-called trainer. And that's what I was going to say, man. I'll talk about it right now. This is what he said. I'm going to help you one of a couple of ways. First, you and I sit down and have a loving and open conversation, but you don't use cuss words, and everything that is discussed is based in fact and not some crazy stuff that dumb friend of yours told you or saw in a tweet. Second option, I have you institutionalized again, where they medicate the crap out of you and you go back to zombie land forever. Play date with the kids just won't be the same. It's cold. So this dude, man, that Harley dude,
which was his trainer.
This trainer, but he's a trainer for a lot of celebrities, and I have a list of those motherfuckers too, bro. But this guy, bro, I think he's disguised as a trainer. He is a trainer, but dude, it's deep, bro.
You think that he could be like some fucking crazy arm of the government that's some kind of like secret MK Ultra psychological celebrity handler or some shit?
Exactly.
Is that where you're going right now, bro?
Exactly,
well,
bro.
take me down there, bro. I'm here.
He fucking did some psyop shit, bro, out there. He was like, he worked for the Department of fucking, damn, dude, shit, in Canada.
We'll be right back after this.
Yeah, he was a former scientist at a Defense Research and Development Military Research Station in Canada. They studied social and cultural factors influencing behavior. It's like some brainwashing MK Ultra shit, bro. Here, check this out. These are his words.
Lucky enough to have him as my graduate advisor. And the area that I was interested in was how drugs and food affect muscular performance. And
when you say drugs, are that like performance enhancing drugs, or are they
all kinds of drugs?
Oh, right. Okay.
So working for the military, I wasn't governed by the same laws that the typical person was. So I could look at the impact of certain drugs that are not everyday things. So we looked at a drug called modafinil, which was for narcoleptics. So if you give a soldier this drug, how long could they stay awake for without having any health detriment?
Is that used now as one of these brain drugs? I've heard the name before somewhere.
Yeah, so it's very interesting. Modafinil, it will keep you awake, but it's not a stimulant.
Really?
So if a special forces person has to stay awake for 3 nights waiting for the right opportunity to do whatever they have to do, we could give them modafinil and it would keep them alert. I did research on a drug called acetazolamide, which is for use at high altitude so you don't get altitude sickness.
Oh, man, this motherfucker's just mixing up the medicine like a chemist, bro. But this is his list of fucking celebrity, bro, clients. All right, where do we start, man? There's so fucking many. This is the fucking the list of fucking people that he was training in Hollywood, bro. Adam Levine, Bahati Priscolo, I don't know what the fuck that is. Lady Gaga, Kim Kardashian, Kanye West, Megan Fox, John Mayer, Amy Schumer, Ariana Grande, Charlie Puth, Jessica Simpson, Julianne Ho, Robert Pattinson, Pusha T, man, damn, that's sad. Jason Sandusky, Catherine Langford, Gwyneth Paltrow, Brad Falchuk, whatever the fuck, Jordana Brewster, Tobey Maguire, Spider-Man dude, Rihanna, Mac Miller, rest in peace, Jennifer Hudson, Nina Dobrev, Gwen Stefani, Nathan Fanlian, I don't know who that is, Abigail Spencer, Usher, Tracy Ellis Ross, Jack Black, oh fuck, Common, Eliza Dushku, Seth Rogen, Robert Downey Jr., Holly Berry, Amanda Seyfried, oh she's fine as fuck, Kate Beckinsale, Maria whatever, Bono, Mila Jovovich, Alicia Keys. Also, I think she also had something to do with. She also trained that what's that girl that passed away? Brittany Murphy too.
Oh.
It's crazy, man. There's two people on his list that passed away. Crazy. Mac Miller and Brittany Murphy.
Both drug overdoses.
Something with drugs or I don't know.
No, Brittany Murphy was a drug overdose.
Was it a drug overdose or something? Maybe inside the house. I don't know. It was some weird shit. And I know her husband kind of died similar like later. It's some weird shit on that shit. I don't know too much about it, but it's just weird how, at 30, what's that, 6 degrees of separation?
Oh, yeah.
Kevin Bacon or some bullshit.
Well, that's the crazy thing, though, is because you're seeing now, like, my only argument against that would be, why would the government try to infiltrate celebrities? Like, I get it in, earlier decades and things like that, because celebrities were super prominent. If a celebrity, they would use a celebrity as like an advertiser.
They were influencers.
Right.
Before. Now it's probably like YouTubers or whatever, TikTokers.
Correct. But that's what you didn't see a lot on that list. I mean, most of those people that I recognize are what they would call A-listers.
Because they've been doing this for a while. Who's to say they're not doing this now with these fucking, the new gen of whatever these celebrities are?
I think, dude,
But that's
internet,
the way.
The internet's a gift and a burden. And so I think, now that the younger generation, obviously myself included, people are way more wise to, what's going on in secret programs and intentions of, the government and everything like that. Mm-hmm. So who knows if these younger influencers would fall prey to that. But, people will sell their soul for, damn near, for some small shit.
Yeah, man.
So you never know.
I don't know, man. Hollywood's all fuck. I think there's some dark shit that goes on behind Hollywood, bro.
Yeah.
Like, did you hear about that shit? I don't know if this is true. I just had to look into this the other day about Jim Carrey.
And what, the number 23?
No, I know there's some pretty crazy shit around that too. But, well, yeah, maybe. It's same thing. Maybe it has something to do with it. But they say that he's like the leader of some satanic church in Los Angeles.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No, I didn't hear that.
Nah, so I don't know if you give it a Google or whatever, DuckDuckGo, and check that out, man. And I don't know, it's just a conspiracy or a rumor and shit. But they say that he took over after Martin Scorsese.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe that explains all that weird shit too with Jim Carrey a few years back, bro. Like
with the paintings and stuff.
Paintings and yeah, he was going crazy with that and all the Illuminati shit on Jimmy Fallon and
oh yeah,
you know what I mean? Like I don't know where he was going with that. You know what I mean?
Well, dude, I haven't seen.
It's like he was tiptoeing. Like he was like, I want to like say something.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yep. Now would be a good time to put a clip up. There's so many celebrities that like sit down for these talk shows or whatever.
Yeah.
And throw up like Illuminati signs and stuff.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I can't remember who it was. I can see it in my mind, but there was an actor and he sits down. This is super recent. And he sits down on a chair for like a talk show or something.
Yeah.
And dude, like, when people usually like flash an Illuminati sign, like it's real quick, it's nothing, it could, be misconstrued as most things. But this guy was almost doing like a gang signal. Like he made like, the triangle, with his thumbs touching and his index touching.
Yeah.
And then he did, I don't even know what he did. He did like a flip or a bird motion and then did like some other thing and then sat down. Like it literally looked like a gang sign, but it was all Illuminati, like occult Freemason shit.
Some code shit, bro.
Oh, dude, you see that?
He's sending a message, bro.
You see that all the time, man.
Dark sigil magic and shit. What would you call that?
Oh, that sigil magic.
Sigil magic. Yeah. It's all that shit, bro.
I don't know, dude. It's I just to wrap up the Kanye thing. I don't think you can just make blanket generalizations about people. I don't think that's smart. You know what I mean? But I think what Kanye is trying to say is that I don't know if this is true. I'd have to honestly do my own research. But I think what he's trying to say is like Jews own the media, or they own most of like the media or something like that, and they're construing stuff or whatever the case is.
It's just like,
I'm not really sure.
I don't know,
But the other thing is and I'm going to lose a lot of people at this, and that's cool.
yeah.
But it's one of those things where, like, how like the whoever it is, the elites, the lizard people, they never let a good crisis go to waste, right? So when they come out with something called like the Patriot Act, you're like, I'm not going to fucking, be against the Patriot Act. I'm a patriot, shit like this. And I don't know if this is true or not. I have no idea. What happened to the Jews in the Holocaust is terrible and stuff. But, who knows, maybe what if they're, thinking that, nobody's going to point me out, because, you look at everything now, everybody's so sensitive about, issues and gender and this and that and misappropriating this, that, how dare you, call out, a Jewish person for, which rightfully so. 6 million people died, in World War II. But, I think that's why some people feel that Jewish people are untouchable because of the atrocities that happened to them in the past.
I agree with all that, man.
And I'm not saying that's how they feel, like how Jewish people feel, but I think that's how some people can view it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, for sure. He's coming from somewhere, bro. He's saying something. I think there's more to it, and I know he's just treading lightly and shit. But I do think there is like, I don't think people who really run shit have a religion, bro.
No, well, there's that old saying that millionaires study the market, billionaires study the stars.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And that's true. I think in this case too, like, there's a billionaire club. And what they did is they kicked them out.
Right.
Yeah. And I think like, when you're in this billionaire club, you need to fucking play ball, bro.
Mm-hmm.
There's some crazy shit though, bro. Because this is the shit they said about Michael Jackson, Tupac. Tupac was coming out, man, Illuminati all through your body, whatever. All that shit. He was calling out motherfuckers in the industry, whether it be in the rap game or in the movie industry or something, the suits or whatever. People who run shit, you know what I mean? Chappelle's talked about it, I think, before. There's some crazy shit that goes on, bro, I believe. And I don't really know who runs it or whatever, but it is some dark shit. And I always say, too, if there's people that run the world, they're not good people, bro, because the world's fucked.
Well,
there's nothing ever trying to make it better or try to bring people together. It's just always in total chaos.
Greed corrupts, absolutely,
Mm-hmm.
So now, we live in a time of materialism, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people will base or judge their success, their happiness, their worthiness off of what kind of car I drive, what kind of neighborhood I live in, how big my house is, what's the depth of my pool, how many times have I gone to Hawaii in the last 5 years? Just shit like that.
Yeah.
But I think once you get higher up, as a profile, higher up as your profile in regards to that, I think you get a little closer abreast of how these things actually work behind closed doors, you know?
And I think Kanye got exposed to that. And I think, I don't know, man. I was waiting for that. I was waiting for someone famous, someone who became powerful enough and brave enough to call motherfuckers out, bro. To put motherfuckers in their place and shit. It was a matter of time, bro, that was gonna happen. And that's what I was thinking, bro. I think Hollywood is all in check. You see these motherfuckers, these blue check motherfuckers, right? They're all in check, bro, because they have to play ball in order to get work, right?
Right.
And people like Kanye or whatever, who's just like I don't know, not anymore. You know, he doesn't have that deal with Adidas. He's not like a billionaire. He was like a fucking multi-billionaire, wasn't he, before?
But the thing that people confuse is the difference between like hard cash and liquid assets.
Yeah.
Right? Liquid assets is like a company you own or a brand or something like that is quote unquote worth $1 billion or quote unquote worth $500 million.
Yeah.
Right? As far as like a deal or a sponsorship is concerned. But, you know, that doesn't mean, you know, that they have $1 billion sitting in the bank.
They cut ties with them with JP Morgan and Chase, you know, they terminated his Adidas contract. You know, and I heard the other day too, Adidas is still gonna go on with that style of shoe, but just not call it Yeezys.
Right.
I'm like, dude, I don't know. Kanye has a big pull, bro. You know what I mean? He's very popular. I don't think those shoes are gonna do well without his name attached.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion. I do think he's just gonna get bigger. You know what I mean? Especially the next few years, you know.
That motherfucker could run for president, dude.
I think that's his next step, bro.
And he could win. Remember, and everybody remembers this. Remember when it was like 9/11, like a few months afterwards, and it was Michael Myers and Kanye West on TV.
Yeah.
And they're doing like a fundraiser benefit or something.
Yeah.
And out of nowhere, Kanye just goes like, George Bush hates black people. And starts going off.
Yeah.
Dude, this was in like 2001, 2002.
But yeah, I know what you mean. No, it's just crazy because, like, you know, he was calling on the Drink Champs about, I'm the new Michael. You know what I mean? Because Michael was saying shit, bro, like this before in the past too, bro. He has that one song.
Michael Jordan?
Michael Jackson. Oh. He did say he's all Michaels. Michael Corleone from fucking Godfather and shit. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
So, whatever. But yeah, there's this song, They Don't Care About Us. Read the lyrics, shit.
But who knows? You know, what if to tarnish Michael Jackson's whatever, you know, they created this whole pedophile thing.
Okay.
Because they knew he was going to try to expose whatever. You hear this time and time again. Like, that's a conspiracy surrounding, like, Chester Bennington.
Oh, yeah.
The Lincoln Park. He was going to come out with this thing about sex trafficking and this and that. Then he died. And you hear that with quite a few people. They had a project in place they were going to release or, you know, they were in works on and they just mysteriously died.
Yeah. No, you hear those cases all the time, bro.
I
don't know, man. The streets are talking, so.
The streets are talking. But what I was saying earlier is, like I said, the millionaires study the market and the billionaires study the stars, right?
Yeah.
I just listened to a podcast. I'm super into like ancient history and hidden knowledge and all that type of stuff.
Yeah,
I'm sure people have heard of the works of, you know, Graham Hancock and Randall Carlson and Robert Schoch.
Michael Cremo. John Anthony West.
I mean, the list goes on and on. But
ancient history, bro, lost knowledge.
But it makes you think, about how billionaires, allegedly, study the stars. And when you look back at like these ancient cultures that built these monuments, all of their like monuments they would have one designated building that would be built just especially for certain, like, I don't know how you articulate it, just when the sun does weird shit, when the moon passes in front or all the planets align, and, during certain, like the summer solstice and the winter solstice, like when the earth lined up, light would go through like all these rooms and illuminate whatever it was, some shrine or something like that.
Some Indiana Jones shit.
Right. Which every civilization back then studied the stars. I mean, you got to think, I mean, granted, they didn't have any light pollution, but besides fire and such, but, how they were able to map out these constellations with such precision, such, precise. I know we found like documentation in these civilizations, we found carvings of the exact solar system before, like, I don't know whether it was Plato or Socrates, I don't know, but whoever came up with the solar system, theory which now we know is true. So how the fuck did people, anywhere from 5 to 12,000 years ago know about the solar system without telescopes and everything along those lines?
I know what podcast you're talking about, and it was really interesting, and I do like those guys as well. And what Graham Hancock mentioned, I don't know. From what I got out of that conversation, it's like either going to be two things. It's either we're like having some intervention or some kind of thing coming, like a connection to us, right? Somebody's tapping into us from somewhere, physically or whatever. Like maybe all these UFOs and shit like that, or we're somehow communicating with them through psychedelics. Hallucinogens and shit. Yeah. And that was really interesting what Graham Hancock was talking about, like
how they did all these trials on, they did these clinical trials where, when you take DMT, ditryptamethylene, which your body naturally produces as you dream, it's produced in the pineal gland, which they call in reptiles is your third eye. It looks like a pine cone, and even in reptiles, this pineal gland actually has a lens on it. But when you take dimethyltryptamine, when you smoke it, a lot of times if you have to take two substances to take it orally, like it's called like an NAOI inhibitor, because if you take it just by itself, your body will your stomach will digest it and it won't let the enzymes pass through. But if you smoke it, you get this experience, but it doesn't last for about 10-15 minutes, but it's still crazy as fuck, totally euphoric, like you feel like you're in a different reality type of shit. But when you ingest it and you mix it with ayahuasca or that's what they call when they mix these two things together, and you can actually ingest it orally, it lasts for hours. And they've been doing this in tribes in the Amazon and all over the place for, hundreds, if not thousands of years. And so they did this medical study somewhere where they did a drip. So it'd always be a constant thing where you're like, and you had to sign all this stuff and be cool with it. But, you're tripping for a long ass time, and everybody basically had the same fucking experience where they saw these entities, these fairy-like, creatures that were trying to speak knowledge or wisdom to them, which is crazy, because everybody has those types of experiences on that type of stuff,
and that makes sense. Like why billionaires would be studying the stars or just like this hidden knowledge. You know what I mean? Because that's what made them billionaires in the first place. Well, like the beginning of the generational wealth, you know what I mean? Like how all these monopolies started and shit like that.
Right.
Yeah.
All nepotism.
Like Tesla, for example, Nikola Tesla. Like a lot of his stuff, like what they were talking about, like a lot of his stuff was taken and shit.
Oh,
and people ran with it, bro. A lot of companies today or whatever.
No, a lot of it got suppressed.
Yeah. And that's what it is.
A lot of it got suppressed.
It's either hidden or suppressed most of the time.
Right, because Nikola Tesla was going to try to create free energy. And that's the theory behind the pyramids and a lot of the obelisk type structures around the world, is that they were like beacons that would somehow harness energy and would be able to transmit it throughout the world. And that's what Nikola Tesla was working on. You see that big picture of that tower, that he's standing next to. It looks like a big water tower. They were going to put that all over the world, and it was supposed to project electricity, and it was just going to be free, electricity in the air that anybody could tap into for free.
He didn't do DMT or any psychedelics or anything like that.
I don't know if that's documented.
I think he was just celibate. Like he just didn't get pussy or anything, bro. Like his whole life, like his only fucking companions were his pigeons or some crazy shit.
Yeah, he probably had like Asperger's or some sort of
something. Maybe just maybe just holding in that nut his whole life fucking like gain some psychic powers or some shit. You know what I mean?
Mate, I don't know, dude. If I hold in a nut for like a week and a half, I am feeling too good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that semen
So
retention or some shit.
That's some monk type of shit.
That is some monk shit, bro.
Not for me, brother. I'll stay.
Some Tesla shit.
You know, I'll stay with my borderline average IQ. I'm good on that.
But yeah, man. So I don't know.
But he was trying to give people all this free energy and shit, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, if he came out with this, you know, you have companies like coal and oil and all this stuff. So if you come out with something for free, that's going to completely fuck over all those people's money.
Yeah.
That have been, you know, in that monopoly for so long. So rightfully so, they took all his shit and I highly doubt they destroyed it. But, you know, they suppressed and they didn't let that information come out. A great, you know, example is your boy, Stanley Meyer. The guy that created that water-powered vehicle.
Shout out.
You know the story a little bit better than me. What happened? How did he die?
I don't know, man. Something about he had a meeting with these car manufacturers, something with the automobile industry or something, I think. Him and his brother met these guys that worked for these industry. And I guess they were at a restaurant or some shit, and he got up, ran out of the fucking restaurant holding his neck. And I think his brother said to him that they poisoned me, and he died. It's just a crazy coincidence.
Right.
You know what I mean? Or conspiracy that this dude, you know, invented something that was so beneficial for mankind, but there was no profit to be made off of it, I guess. You know what I mean?
It's that old saying in Big Pharma. You know, I don't know if George Carlin coined it, but the great George Carlin said, "There's no money in curing, only treating."
That's true. And he also talked about the Billionaires Club.
Yeah.
And we're not in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we're fucking not in it. So, rightfully so. You know, they would suppress, you know, Nikola Tesla's information.
I don't know, man.
But that whole talking about like the younger Dryas and that impact that happened 10 to 12,000 years ago, for me, man, that's pretty prolific, to be completely honest with you. I find that to be very profound and groundbreaking, because that is, to me, that's just like a jab, like right to like the mainstream, you know, science and stuff. You know, they talked about, because in Egypt, you're not even allowed to like do a lot of shit, like unless you're an Egyptologist or something along those lines.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's kind of what Robert Schoch encountered when you know, he went in and tried to predate the Sphinx, which he predated it to like, I don't even know, like 10, 12,000 years ago when it was originally erected. And he was shunned, you know. Graham Hancock, he is banned from
Egypt.
Yeah, he's banned from Egypt.
That's crazy.
You know, because he's countering, you know, their argument and stuff, which to me is, I think it's...
Why is that though? Why is knowledge being suppressed? Just because people want to be right about things, or you think there's something more to it?
I think it's a little bit of...
more sinister.
It's like, I think it's compartmentalized, right? So if you want to talk about like suppressed stuff, 100% the government has technology that if we knew about, we would be like, if they released, we would be 100 or hundreds years more advanced than what we are now, right? But then you talk about like, for the Egyptologists, you know, they just want to be right. You know, that's a very siloed echo chamber that they live in, and the narrative they follow is a very straight and narrow line. You know, about the Egyptians came in 2,000 years ago and they quarried all this stuff and whatnot. The Great Stone that lies above like the Great Tomb or whatever the fuck it's called is like 70 tons. A lot of those stones, like even the smaller, like 10,000 pound stones, were quarried from some places that were 500 miles away, which even a lot of times, even now, like even with our modern technology, we couldn't even replicate what they did back in the day. So for us to think that, you know, the Egyptians just built all that, I don't know, man. Because if you look at a lot of these, you know, crazy, you know, Göbekli Tepe, all that stuff that we're dating back to 10,
The
11,000.
serpent mount, they're saying? That's interesting.
The serpent mound. Yeah, he touched on there's a lot of stuff in North America too.
Just sad, bro, because to think what was here before all these major cities were put up.
Yeah.
Like how many ruins were destroyed or whatever the fuck, you know what I mean?
Right. Which
you know,
which makes me more wanting to know more about Native American culture now.
Yeah.
To know about their stories, because they were on the land. They were, for what I know, you know, for me believing, you know, all that stuff, which I believe is true. I mean,
First Nation.
I don't know who was there before the Indians, if they were always here, but but to hear the stories from their culture when they first settled on the land and what they encountered and what they found.
The lost tribe of whatever, bro.
Yeah, you hear all these you hear all these stories, dude, about a cataclysm, you know, that happened, a flood, and all these books, all these religious books. You know, there's tribes, and there's a Native American tribe that the story goes that there was an apocalyptic cataclysm that happened, and ant people came and took them underground, and there they lived for I don't know how long it was, a few decades maybe, or a decade or something like that, and then they emerged and repopulated civilization. And that's just one of dozens of stories that you will find dating back to all kinds of crazy periods that talk about a cataclysmic event that happened and people brought them into shelter. And that's one thing they pointed out in the episode about all of these like underground caves with air vents that could house 20,000 people. Crazy
shit, huh?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I'm excited for his new show too. Graham Hancocks on Netflix.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I'm a big fan of the guy.
They talked about that comet that came in 1908 and exploded. It's called an airburst, and it exploded like 5 miles above Earth.
Yeah.
And it flattened 2,000 square miles of just trees. And nobody died. It was an inhabited area in 1908. And Randall Carlson was showing, like, on a thing that the Earth goes through like this asteroid belt. I can't remember what it's called. It starts with a T or something. And it goes through this belt through 2 times a year, through like November and then once in June. And the June lines up exactly to the day of when, because it's literally like a 2-week period for 2 times. It's like or maybe it's a few days. I can't remember, but it quickly passes through that in November, and then it passes through it again in June. And in that 1908 June, I think it was like June 12th or 20th or something like that. But on that day is the exact time where the Earth is going through that area. It was just a fascinating conversation, and I am so excited to watch this series. And if you haven't seen that episode with Graham Hancock and Randall Carlson, it's definitely worth watching, because it's pretty groundbreaking in my opinion.
Yeah, man. It's crazy, man, how many changes happened in the past. And I do see how we have just lost our ways many, many times in the past, our ancestors. You know what I mean? We had to rebuild. And a lot of crazy changes, man. I don't know. Hopefully we get our shit together before that shit happens, or something like that happens again that's similar. You know what I mean? Or just a big wipeout. You know what I mean? Hopefully we can just come together. You know, there's an interesting quote. I mean, let me play it. Have you ever heard this thing of Tupac?
Every time I speak, I want the truth to come out. You know what I'm saying? Every time I speak, I want to shiver. You know, I don't want them to be like, they know what I'm going to say because it's polite. They know what I'm going to say. And even if I get in trouble, you know what I'm saying? Ain't that what we're supposed to do? I'm not saying I'm going to rule the world or I'm going to change the world, but I guarantee that I will spark the brain that will change the world. And that's our job, is to spark somebody else watching us. We might not be the ones, but let's not be selfish, and because we're not going to change the world, let's not talk about how we should change it. I don't know how to change it, but I know if I keep talking about how dirty it is out here, somebody's going to clean it up.
Maybe we're that people, bro. You and I.
I wish. I wish.
Or maybe Kanye.
or maybe Kanye. I mean, who fucking knows? But
Let's give it to Kanye. It's too much fucking work for us to handle, bro.
nah. And that fool's gonna run for president. I guarantee. I would not be surprised if you see Trump. If you see Trump West.
Yeah.
Trump West 2024.
West Side.
Gang.
I'm living in that 21st century, doing something mean to it. Do it better than anybody you ever seen do it. Screams from the haters, got a nice ring to it. I guess every superhero need his theme music. No one man should have all that power. The clock's ticking, I just count the hours. Stop tripping, I'm tripping off the power.
Love me. Conspiracy.
Change it. Turn and face the strain. Change it.